Here we go with Cynthia, guys. Yes! You guys having a good time? It's a great show, right? This is amazing. Support LGBTQ comedy. I love you guys for being here. Your next comic, Coming Stage, I love her so much. I saw her a couple weeks ago at a show, and I'm officially allowed to say she has the poise of the Vivian, but she has the mouth of Catherine Tate. Put your hands together for Madeline Lunchford. Yeah!
Thank you so much. What a lovely introduction. Well, I mean, foul-mouthed isn't the first thing I'd describe myself as, but I describe myself as a bunch of things nobody else would ever think of. You will after this. So you seem like lovely people. I'm so terribly sorry in advance for offending you. But I'll do that now. But no, you obviously seem very intelligent, so I think we can probably all agree at this point it's 2022. I mean, we all know that left-handed people are just pretending to be left-handed to make our right-handed lives more difficult. We know that. I mean, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. They can, in the freedom of their own, in the privacy of their bedroom, they can be as left-handed as they like. But we do know they're pretending. It's just they're just trying to be cool. So I'm glad you're all on board. Thank you. So I mean, I'm fine with them being left-handed in their bedroom. That's perfectly acceptable. They can do left-handed things, catch things, write, masturbate with their left hand. It's fine. I don't want to see that. But just don't bring their left-handedness into our schools and around our children. Just because if children see, it's all, I know it's the fad, it's very trendy at the moment to have, graphite smudged on the heel of your hand. And just smudging everything you've just written is very on trend right now. It's being left-handed is a vibe, but we understand that that's not really a thing. And being right-handed is the majority, so that must be right? That's why it's called right-handed. And because their left-handedness makes me feel uncomfortable, they must be wrong. So, as long as they don't do it around our children, because our children are going to see that left-handedness and try and be left-handed themselves, which is unnatural and of the devil. So after, we probably shouldn't even talk about left-handed people anymore who don't exist. After this set, that'll be it, and then no more talking about left-handed people. So I'm glad you agree with me. No left-handed people, they don't really exist. It's just, we have to entertain the fact that they think they exist, but we all know the truth, and maybe it would be easier if left-handed people just went and lived on an island somewhere. Thank you for appreciating that those people don't exist. Somebody who does exist, of course, the Easter Bunny. Interestingly enough, out of all the deities, it's the Easter Bunny who is the one that's real. He's a 10-foot rabbit, horrible drinking problem. And the reason he comes before dawn is he hasn't been to bed from the night before, fur matted with vomit. Just little cubes of carrot and corn for some reason. But your parents at a certain age tell you, oh, we were hiding the eggs out in the garden for you, but they weren't actually doing that. They were taking boiling water out in pans and trying to get rid of the Bigfoot-sized bloody rabbit footprints, because unfortunately the rabbit lays the eggs, and they're wrapped in a beautiful decorative tin foil, and that plays havoc with his undercarriage. Unfortunately, it's just sort of ribbons, bloody ribbons of rabbit anus back there. I'm sorry, I know it's disgusting. I'm sorry, but I'm letting you know. It's about time we talked about the one deity that does exist. The rest of them were made up for children. But the rabbit, absolutely true. If you'd like to join my religion, now finding out, of course, that this is the real one, you don't have to go to a church or anything like that. You can pray to the rabbit in the eternal rabbit hutch in the sky, anywhere you like. Just look to the sky and suckle on the little water bottle of forgiveness. And that is $20. You can give me $20 and I will give the $20 to the rabbit. So anyway, I got a couple of puppies recently. I know, they're adorable. They're very sweet. They're useless. They just flop around all day long. They're adorable. They're very cute, little brown noses. And they just run around there, just right in front of me all day. Here they are, here. Yes, I grew them myself. And they do have cute little noses. They're very sweet. So anyway, you may not have guessed, but I once went to a sperm bank. Before I had the courage to do this, I decided to go to a sperm bank just to be on the safe side and save humanity. So you're welcome. So I went to the sperm bank dressed as myself, and they didn't know quite what to make of me, but I thought I'd make one last deposit just for old time's sake. I thought, I'd always imagined that sperm bank would have a room, the deposit room I suppose they would call it, but it would be decorated like some kind of sort of porn-like jizz palace, some cliched semblance of a masturbatorium. I don't know what it would look like, but a pleather sofa you don't want to touch, and some well-thumbed magazines, I'm not sure. Mood music. But it wasn't that. It wasn't anything like that in the slightest. It was actually just a regular office toilet from the 70s. So wood paneling and everything. I suppose that is quite porn-like, actually, the paneling. So the 70s paneling was porny. The rest of it, just an office toilet. And the problem was there was no mood music or mood lighting. There was a gap of 1.5 inches under the door, and outside I could hear 4 nurses clicking and clacking on their keyboards. And it was so quiet, I could hear a pencil drop in an empty mug. And so I could hear them, so they could hear me. And so the last wank of any substance... Sorry, I disgusted myself there. The last wank of any true meaning and substance was done in complete red-faced silence. I'd like for you to imagine that I was some kind of androgynous goddess strumming the golden lyre in a beautiful, glistening light, my breasts heaving with perspiration. But it wasn't like that. It was much more of sort of a hunched over kind of cave goblin. I'm sorry. Okay. But the container they give you is quite small, and semen, I'm sure many of you may have noticed, is rather wayward. Once it's released, it's really got a mind of its own. So, rather tricky to get it in that little cup, but I did get it in there because I'm a legend. So I returned the big gulp cup to the nurse, and a little bit of it was spilling over the side, and I said, "Oh, just take a sip out of it." And we both took a sip, and we got rather drunk on my gender fluid. And that's how she became transgender. Thank you very much. I've been Madeline Usher.
All comedians that are still here, if you guys want to talk to them, please do, because they want the attention. Also, get to know them.